So the difference between pronunciation and articulation, pronunciation is the correct formation of the words, and articulation is how clear and impactful the spoken words are. So like mumbling would be poor articulation, or mispronouncing things is poor pronunciation. And both of these elements are very important when you're speaking, because if you're pronouncing words incorrectly, then it kind of shows that you didn't put the time in, or maybe did not practice the speech. And it also leaves a poor impression of you as a speaker, whereas having poor articulation is gonna kind of if you're very slurry or mumbly through what you're saying, people are not going to take you as serious. They're going to think that you're ill prepared. So ways to avoid being a monotonous speaker is to change the intonation of your voice. Pitch up and down. You can emphasize meaning behind words that way. Changing your volume will also do that. You can also change the speaking rate. Normally you want to be speaking at a good enough pace to where people are following along well without getting bored or sleepy, but also not having to struggle to keep up with what you're saying. But if you're going to deliver a point, if you slow your words down, it can add a lot of emphasis on what you have to say. For effective gesturing, you don't want to force gestures out. If you're saying something that you're not passionate about and you're forcing a very big passionate gesture, it's going to be obvious that it's forced. So gesture based on your emotions, don't force it. And also just how you stand and present yourself is also a form of gesturing. So you don't want to hide yourself behind the podium or look down. You want to stand tall, make eye contact with the audience, and just appear to be confident. And in appearing to be confident, you'll feel more confident as well. So the two careers that use persuasion are going to be, I said, a politician and a salesman. Politicians have to persuade the voting pool to vote for them. They also have to persuade and argue in wherever they are elected to enact laws and do their job. They have to persuade other people to agree with them. Salesmen, they have to persuade a customer to purchase what they're selling. And I believe that it's easier to persuade young people than old people, as young people, between 18 and 25, they're still developing, they're still learning, they're still building their paradigm, their worldview. And it would be easier to persuade them to believe in what you have to say if you offer them proof, whereas older people are more caught in their ways, and even with proof, a lot of the times they don't want to change their view, or they're much harder to get to see your side of it.